Hello and welcome to the second part of my Neca Alien Fireteam review. Known as the Runner Alien, the Runner Alien is the most casual enemy you will encounter in the entire game. Unlike the Prowler, which pounces at you and run, the Runner generally uses strength in numbers, which makes it one of the more annoying enemies in the game when it spawns left and right, sometimes right in the field of vision of the player. With that said, let's jump in and talk about Neca's newest variation of this Xenomorph, which has previously been visited before with the actual movie of Alien 3 and the arcade game based on the movie. Is the Runner Alien, a figure that I decided that I was going to go ahead and get. I wasn't always going to get. This is a figure that I was very much against getting about a year ago, or maybe whenever they announced this figure a while back, because I was just going to get the Prowler Alien. But after seeing the Prowler Alien and kind of getting it in hand, I kind of thought about things, and I thought, you know what, there has to be some reused parts, and they have to be on the same scale. I totally expected Neca to take this figure and just reuse parts from the old one. With that said, though, we're going to get a first look at the box, though, before we go into anything else, though. Just like any Neca wave line, it keeps everything nicely uniformed with the exact same box art. This is no different right here. Of course, we have it uniformed, looking exactly like the Aliens Fireteam Elite video game, and it reuses some of the art that's on the actual cover of the video game itself. And then for that, we have a picture of the respective Xenomorph, the Runner Alien. So there's not really a lot to say about this at all. We have various different promotional stills of our Runner Alien right here. And the thing I think is a little funny is this image they just reused twice. They just kind of blew it up down there for more of a shot at the head, that's just a close-up. Not a big deal, just one of those things I thought was kind of humorous just looking at that. Because when I looked at the Prowler Alien, on the other hand, they had 3 separate pictures. Over here we also have our also available, which of course the Prowler Alien, and I understand the Burstler and the Spitter Alien are already out in a limited amount. Certain stores have gotten a hold of them. I am trying to get my hands on them as soon as possible so I can bring a review. I understand there are also other reviews up currently right now, but it's something though I will be bringing personally, so if you just stay tuned. But overall, though, I'm not a fan, like I said in my last review, a fan of this box style, but the box art is dope, though. That's one of my favorite things. I stand by that. Let's go ahead and get a quick measurement in of this figure. It should be about 13 inches, just as the Prowler Alien was, since it's pretty well the exact same parts, and that is absolutely correct. Just over 13 inches, and if we go ahead and measure him in his standing position, he is a little bit shy of 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and also get a weigh-in on this figure because I did not get a weigh-in on the Prowler Alien, and it should all be the exact same. In fact, we might do a comparison to see if there is any difference. Bringing the Runner Alien in and getting him on the scale. Alright, we're going to switch him out now, and we're going to take a look at the actual Prowler Alien since I missed out on it. And it should be the exact same. Oh, we are actually just a little bit more. It's got to be that big head on him right there that's just giving. I'm going to try this one more time. That's interesting. It's one of those things that I know really probably doesn't matter a lot, but I get genuinely curious about some of this. So one more time with the Runner Alien. Yes, we are just a tad lighter. And that is pretty well that right there. And if anybody is curious, do they reshare the same parts? Not exactly. There's a few differences. Obviously, the head is one of them, but the shoulders and the actual, what do you want to say, the collarbone is a little bit different on the actual figure. So those are some of the key distinctive things. Other than that, though, they are pretty well the exact same figures. I think the first thing that I want to dive into is talking about the actual sculpt and the paint apps of this figure. So as far as the paint apps, it pretty well makes use of the browns and the blacks. A lot of the blacks are in the interior of the actual skeleton of the actual figure, or the skeletal figure, I should say, right there. And then for that, at the front, at the face right there. Also, I do want to point out that I feel like overall, this overall Runner Alien, in contrast to the one that was in the actual movie, it feels like it's a good combination of the Alien Resurrection Warrior and the Runner Alien. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the body just feels a lot more fleshy. If you remember on Alien Resurrection, one of the distinctive things that the actual aliens had is they were a lot more, they were skeletal, but it was very fleshy in contrast to the other Xenomorphs we'd seen, which were purely skeletal and kind of had box-shaped chests and bodies in certain areas because of the suits. Here, this just feels like it is more on par with what we're seeing out of the Alien Resurrection, just combined and fused into the actual Runner Alien. This Runner Alien, though, I think it has its own unique differences also, too, because the back right here, the The back does not appear to be the same. In fact, I'll pull the runner alien because there's a few things that are coming to mind I feel like are entirely different. It does make use of a translucent dome, which that was something that was on both the runner aliens that Neca had released, but it was kind of a little bit lost in the ultimate one due to the fact they kind of like airbrushed at the top. It was still translucent, but on the original release for Series 3, it was a lot more apparent. So this one right here kind of throws back to that, and I feel like it's a lot closer. Obviously, this is a much smaller figure. Like, that doesn't even justify, and I'm pretty sure the tail actually runs, the ultimate runs past the length of this guy right here. So, I think that is kind of nice in a way that Neca is going ahead and gave us a brand new mold. I didn't expect that. That is something that I was thinking, yeah, they're probably just going to repaint and repackage the figure. But I think one of the downfalls is, though, I remember that I spent $45 for this figure, and the other one was like $30 to $35. Now, granted, yeah, that was 2018. This is, or maybe even 2019, around that range. It was somewhere around there when the Ultimate came out. But you're just getting this figure, and that's to me just kind of it's a feel-good moment to know that, yeah, this is something brand new. But overall, yeah, we're still paying much more, and this is obviously has to do with Neca and the price hikes that they've taken lately in the recent years. So it's something that I could see people possibly being turned off because they don't want to spend that much. Before we go too deep into the articulation, I've got the mouth open. That is obviously one of the first bits of articulation we can talk about, just opens and shuts. But this one I have to resort to tweezers. Now make sure you are gentle on this. This one right here is one of those that was extremely stuck. I didn't have an issue fighting the Prowler alien, but this one on the other hand, yeah, I kind of did. It's pretty well just got some black paint apps, and there is a little bit of a hint of silver. I don't know if you'll be able to make that out right there. But overall, though, there's nothing much to it. I mean, we've seen more detailed tongues on actual figures. The head does move around, neck. This is very stiff, this one right here. He's going to need a warm bath soon. And the arms, we got some decent range, goes all the way around. And then for that, we have the elbows, which are just at one joint. There's no double jointed like some of these Xenomorphs we have out there. And then the wrists and hands just kind of spin on around. Obviously the same on the other side. And then for that, we have our ab crunch articulation, which is pretty well what we expect. There's a little bit of limited range. It's not bad, though, for what it's worth. The actual leg, get some good range out of that. Just like the Prowler alien, it is the exact same articulation in legs. We have our double jointed knees, and then for that down here, we have another spot of articulation that is cut, and then all the way down to the feet, and then finally, we finish it off with a bendy wire in the tail as usual. Between the two figures, they are very different figures, the Ultimate and the Fireteam Elite one. The Fireteam Elite one is definitely inferior to the Ultimate release, which is pretty obvious. The Ultimate release has better articulation, better paint apps, larger figure, and better price for what you're spending money on. You're also getting a chest burster. You're also getting a little stand that is similar to the actual movie poster. So I do ask you to keep certain things in mind. I do enjoy this little guy right here. But overall, though, if you just want one, I'd say go for the Ultimate. It just puts this one to shame overall in every way. Overall, Alien Fireteam Elite, this line right here has started off pretty good. And I gotta say, even though smaller, I am proud to know that they are going with some brand new parts, because we have not seen any reused parts. I've heard allegedly, and the next wave, supposedly there are reused parts. But we'll get around to that in future reviews. Alright, for a final verdict of this figure. This figure right here, I do feel like I got my money's worth. Though I understand that's kind of subjective to certain people due to the fact that I have talked about the price and brought that up multiple times. It's one of those things that not everybody is prepared to make the splash and go in that much for a figure. Now granted, $45 is still not a lot compared to, say, like an SH Monster Arts figure, which is going to be a lot more expensive. And by the way, I do want to say this figure does remind me of the SH Monster or Figure Arts line. They did Xenomorphs a while back. I haven't seen any recent ones, but just the overall scale and just looking at it, it just makes me think of that. So it's one of those figures that I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to say this is something that you could go without. I mean, really. It's a figure that is nice for what it's worth, but it isn't as it's hyped out to be. I have a good place for my collection, and it's nice to see some size and variety when it comes to actual action figures and Xenomorphs in my collection. Plus, I do like army building, but I understand, and I'm not going to go too much into detail with this subject, but this is kind of trying times for people, and people might have to pick and choose, and not everybody is a hardcore collector. So if you're one of those people that is in a mood to go ahead and separate your needs from your wants, then this is something that's going to go on the back of the shelf, basically. And I don't really recommend you go out of your way to get this. But various retail stores do have it. Online, I understand Big Bad Toy Store has yet to get it. They're usually late in the first place. I just understand, though, overall, though, it's something that has not widely showed up at, say, like Walmart's or even Big Bad Toy Store, and even some other notable stores, online stores like Entertainment Earth. So that's pretty well what I can say about this figure. So it has its nice things, only have one quality issue, and it would probably be this little part over here, which I'll get a closer picture of. And this right here is probably, I don't really see any spotty paint apps. I think it's painted and sculpted well, but overall, though, it's not the draw. It's probably the lowest of all the Xenomorphs that they have released for this Fireteam line. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Again, thanks. You have a great day.